Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to... I don't know what I'm saying. This has been so long.
It's been so long. 53 is what Jen was going to say. Episode 53 of Low the podcast.
Yeah.
With me, Rammo, and my co-host, Jens, who's
That's
losing
me.
it just a little bit over there. How you been, Jens? What have you been up to, man? It's been
I'm
so
on holiday.
long.
I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
That's probably why, too. Jens has been on a little bit of a break for like the past 2 weeks now-ish.
Coming up to
roughly.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, almost 2 weeks now. So a well-deserved break as well, because it's, burnout is so easy to get in streaming. But other than that, it's just nice to step away. It's just nice to step away sometimes, Just
like,
just
I
do
like
something
gaming,
different.
but it's just nice to not be in this office sometimes.
You know what? That was one of the things that I sort of, the past little while, I haven't had access to my personal PC. Like Emma's had hers, which is, I've been playing here and there on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't had access to it. And so I haven't been playing as much games as what I normally do. Which, isn't a bad thing because I did quite enjoy it and I got to do some other things, but it is nice to have it back, and all set up, and
especially today.
I enjoy it, yeah. Especially
not only
today,
for Hello
yes.
the podcast, but
no,
Demon Veil
Yes.
comes out today.
Yes, there is a new Siege
recording.
update that I have already done the update for, so I'm ready to go for later tonight.
Yay!
I know Emma has. We're all over it. We're both very excited. I know I saw a couple of people on Twitch as I was having lunch.
Oh, they were
streaming
playing it?
and I was like, I kind of want to watch it, but I also don't.
You know what?
Like,
I'm not gonna touch it until we all jump on tonight and just like everything's gonna be fresh.
because it's not like it's a spoiler sort of game or anything like that. Like there's a story that I want to see and whatnot, but I kind of just want to
Discover
jump into
it.
as and be like, oh, that's cool,
Yeah,
like,
totally.
But yeah, so we're very excited for that. What have you been up to for the past 2 weeks, Jens? Because we as well, like I've been moving and sort of unpacking half my life and whatnot. My body is still quite sore from doing that. But because of that, I haven't had the chance to like catch up with most of you guys, like all my friends and things like that. So what have you been up to for the past 2 weeks?
We've just been chilling. We've been doing a lot of like just catching up with friends and stuff, IRL and house stuff. But we went to a little tiny cabin for like 3 days, which was the only real thing that we did during this break. And that was a lot of fun. Like
it looks cute.
It was very cute. Really cozy. It was not too far away from our actual house, which is like a bit weird, but then like at the same time it was like in vineyards, so it was like different enough, and you kind of you still felt
enough
like you
of
were,
a change of scenery,
so that was really nice just to get out of the house and just like disconnect from work and
online just for a couple of days
and like, just chill and hang out together, which was nice. But yeah, it was really nice. Can't wait to go to another one. But
are there many down there in Adelaide?
There's like a handful.
Okay. Interesting. I might have to think about it one time.
There might be one in Sydney. I can link you the company.
I was going to say, I'm sure there would be a couple in Sydney. I'm sure. That's why I'm like, I was wondering if there was many in Adelaide, because I feel like out of all the places, there would be like tons in Sydney and Melbourne just based on like our population, like to cater to a large population. But Adelaide, I thought maybe there's probably just a handful, but that's kind of interesting. All right, I'll have to have a look, Yeah,
I'd highly recommend just like, if you have a weekend, just go for a weekend. It's you can stay 2 days just for the full weekend and then come back home for work on Monday or whatever.
I think it would be perfect for that, like for a shorter trip.
Too.
I feel like extended periods of time in like a tiny cabin, like you could probably get used to it, but like to get used to it, I'd probably need to be there for like a couple of months at a time, just because I'm so used to having things spread out across the place and things. So I feel like for a weekend it'd be nice, because it's a big jump from living in a 2-bedroom apartment now to like basically a shipping container
pretty much
for a weekend. Like it's not normal, but
and like they had a chemical toilet, so it was just a hole.
Yeah.
And so if there was a breeze, you would feel it. It was very strange.
We had one of our local parks used to be like that, and it
really?
was terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah, don't look in the hole. I looked at it and it ruined it for me. And I just couldn't go to the toilet at night.
What a way to start the weekend, honestly.
I know.
Like, but that's the thing too, is you go at night and you just don't know what things are crawling around in there, because it is just like a big pit, right? Like, I feel like that's scarier than the premise of what actually is in there, is just like the fear of...
you don't want to drop your phone.
Oh, no. Yeah, dropping your phone in a normal toilet is bad enough.
Yeah.
Dropping it in that...
It's gone.
You're done for. I'm sure the people at Optus or whatever, like when you call to explain why you've lost their phone...
do you think they'll be alright with it?
I'm sure they would be sympathetic to the news. I'm sure they'll be like, you know what? That's on us. You keep it. Like, that's all you, fam. Like, yeah.
What about you? Other than, I guess you've been mostly moving, right?
Pretty much unpacking my life
you celebrated
into this apartment.
Emma's birthday?
We did. We celebrated Emma's birthday.
Nice.
Roughly, we sort of went out with dinner with her family. And it was just kind of like a low key sort of thing, because we were still, living out of boxes for that sort of period. But most of the stuff, I'm trying to look around, most of the stuff in the apartment is set up now.
Yeah.
The only thing is, we went and bought our couches, and I told you this, I think. But our couches are estimated between 16 and 18 weeks, not days, weeks.
How many months is that?
I think it's about 4 months, and a bit month. Like, it's about quite a while. So
right, that's how long we waited to.
Yeah, and like we even like we were like, all right, let's humor ourselves. We'll go to IKEA. We'll go to like a couple of these other sort of furniture stores that maybe don't have like, they don't have as nice as stuff, but they're sort of like the kit couches and whatnot that like would probably have some stock on hand. Even IKEA, the only couch we really liked at IKEA would the guy said like June or July, I think, which is still about 4 months.
Wow.
So it's like we were kind of like, okay, so we're kind of stuck up shit creek. We have no other option, but we just went for the nicer couch, obviously.
If you're gonna wait anyways for something you don't really want,
and
you might as well.
And the thought is, this couch as well, yes, it's more expensive, but it's also nicer and probably nicer build quality too, so it's gonna last us like a lot longer,
yeah.
I trust my building acumen to a degree, but I don't know how I would feel about sitting on a couch that I built. Because I feel like I can't blame anyone else but myself then. So
I think Freedom, because you got it from Freedom, right?
Yes, Freedom.
Yeah, they will put it together and take away all the packaging, which is what they did for us.
The lady said that they can't do that at the moment because of some COVID things. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's just a Sydney thing, because we have more sort of people or cases here than like South Australia. But it's not that bad of a problem, because the couch itself is 2 pieces literally. It is the body of the couch, and then we just have to attach the feet. Easy, yeah. So I'm handy with the screwdriver enough that I can do that and trust myself enough.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
But yeah, it's not that big of a deal,
I guess you could get like a temporary.
The large. Yeah, we at the moment we've just been sitting like in the office here and sort of eating dinner together, like at the desk side by side.
Yeah.
Which I normally did at home, from time to time anyway. So like I'm not too used to. It's not that different to me, honestly. But yeah, at one point I said to Emma, I do want to build a mega desk, like a giant long desk for the both of us to sit together.
That'd be cute.
So I already found some wood from Bunnings that I'm going to use. I already have an idea set out of what exactly I want to do. I've just got to find the time to, go and get it, take it back home. I got to take it back to my parents' place, because obviously I can't really like be drilling and sawing and cutting in the apartment, because it's like I have no real room. But I'm going to take it to my parents' house. It was just sort of around the corner, so it's real handy. Build it there, drag it across here, and then we'll set that up. And then we'll have a dining table, because Emma's desk currently is actually our dining table. She just really likes it because it's like a really deep dining table. So she doesn't feel like the monitors are like sitting on top of her.
Yeah, totally.
But I was very specific in the wood that I found.
That it's deep enough?
It's even deeper than
good.
the desk that Emma's using. It's an extra 100 mils deeper. So she was like, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. I'll deal with that.
Yeah, honestly, desks these days are not deep enough for the amount of shit that needs to go on it.
Because that's the thing is like I kind of did realize when I was at Emma's place for a while, like it is nice having a really deep desk because I just have one of those like build your own IKEA ones. Like I think it's a $40 tabletop and then 4 like $11 legs or whatever it is, you know, and you just whack it all together yourself. And like it's good enough, you know, for what I needed at the time. And it's good enough now still, but I would like that extra little bit of depth between me and like, you know, the edge of the desk.
Yeah.
Just so I can like, because sometimes I feel like the monitors are right on top of you, you know, like, so it's just, but eventually I'll get around to it and then we'll have it all set up. But at the meantime, we're sort of just trying to take it a bit chill because like I said, we did get most of it unpacked. And so we're trying to like, just not think about all the other stuff for the time being and just settle in a bit more and then think about it again a bit later.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's a problem for future Jake to think about, you know?
That's true.
Should we jump into the news, gents? Because we do have a couple of news topics this week.
Yes.
And also, for those that haven't seen it, we probably are going to talk about Batman at some point today. We're going to try and steer as clear as we can from spoilers and try and maybe do the spoiler take like on the blog at some point, because I know it has just come out like in the last week or two.
Recently, yeah.
So, you know, obviously people are still trying to find the time to go and see it. It is a long movie, so you do have to block out a lot of your night or evening to go and see it. So we'll do like a little non-spoiler take at one point, but yeah, just thought I'd let you know. On more Batman news though, gents. Gotham Knights, one of my most anticipated games of this year, is finally gotten its release date re-locked in, I guess. Because it did have a release date initially of March sometime in 2021, so last year. That was when it was delayed. It was sometime in March last year, back to 2022. But it's now coming out October 25th this year. So it is still a little while away, which is a little disappointing, but I am going to have the Skywalker Saga coming out within like 2 or 3 weeks now to tie me over until then, I think. So I'll be pretty all right. I'm just glad that it's finally gotten its release date locked in again. And fingers crossed that it can stick to it this time. Fingers crossed, because I do really want to play this game.
I know a lot of people are going to really want this game because the whole like Arkham games were like revolutionary for.
They were. I think in the blog post that we wrote about a little while back,
you did talk
Valentine's
about
Day
those.
thing,
Yeah.
I think Batman was the Batman series. I cheated a bit and put the Batman series in there as one of my favorite games with a little asterisk of all time next to them, just because they were so revolutionary for superhero genres in video games. You know, like. There were popular superhero video games before the Batman Arkham games, but they were like, you know, okay. There was a handful of them, but pretty much all of the Batman Arkham games were like top notch. You know, they were top tier. They were amazing. And then they sort of paved the way for like, you know, Spider-Man now has the same sort of like combat style in a sense, you know, with the very simplistic of like, you know, just hit square a couple of times.
Yeah.
When you see the flash above his head, the spider sense go off, you can hit triangle to like counter it. You know, it's nothing too crazy. So it just, you know, it paved the way. And, you know, obviously now with the Batman being one of the hottest properties in cinema at the moment, it's going to have a resurgence for like, you know, Batman fans again, I think. So it's pretty good timing, I think, to announce this release date, you know, now. And I think that's why they waited until sort of now, because,
probably,
you know, they were expecting, people are being excited about Batman. They're going to go and search Batman properties up on, you know, online and see what books they can get, what comics, what games are out. They go, oh, new game coming out? Cool. I'll spend $80 on that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think they timed it well and smartly. But yeah, finally, very glad that they are releasing it. And even more Batman news, gents. Coming off the tails of Robert Pattinson's The Batman, we are getting the very first spin-off show, the TV show, sort of in that same universe, I guess you could say. It's going to be all about the Penguin, and it's going to be on HBO Max sometime soon. There is no real like hard set release date, unfortunately. Probably not coming out this year. I'd be very, very, very surprised if it does.
I doubt it, yeah.
Expecting next year at the earliest, I would think. But, you know, we're getting a ton of other DC and superhero content this year anyway, so we'll be,
That's
you know,
true,
we're not going to be starved. We're not going to be starved for content, you know. There's going to be a bunch of stuff. But yes, it's going to be on HBO Max. Unsurprisingly, it's going to follow Oswald Cobblepot, who's played by Colin Farrell, surprisingly.
I didn't make the connection.
Dude, it's uncanny. Like, you cannot even tell that it's Colin Farrell, like, at all. There is
the makeup department did so well.
Yeah, they out of the park, knocked it out of the park. There is no way you could tell that it was like, if you went down to the street and like you just held up the image of him, of him in makeup or whatever, and was like, "Who's this?"
I think he did that in costume. He went down to like a coffee shop and no one recognized him.
Yes, I did see that interview. I think it was on one of the talk shows.
Someone did it, yeah.
And yeah, the very first day that he put like all the prosthetics on and the makeup and things like that, he just walked. I think it was on the same set. He just walked over to the coffee cart and to get a coffee.
Right.
One of the other co-stars was sort of like looking at him like, who the fuck let this random guy on the set? Like, why is this scary looking man just getting that coffee? And so the director, Matt Reeves, was like, no, he's actually Colin Farrell. Like, that's the Penguin in makeup. You know, you don't have to be scared. But yeah, speaking of which, Matt Reeves is going to be the executive producer for this series alongside Colin Farrell himself. Very excited for this, Jens, because, you know, I was a big fan of the Batman, and the Penguin is a really quite a strong character in this, I felt. You know, and so I'm very excited to see what else they can do with this character, because it, you know, I kind of did go on a little bit of a rant in one of the discords, just sort of talking about like, because there was, I'm not going to go into it because it's a bit spoilery, but they teased some of the other superheroes that were like the villains, that were going to come out like in the later properties, and like I'm kind of sick of seeing the same villains over and over and over and over and over again. I kind of want to see some of the new ones and the different ones that we don't typically see in live action, and Penguin is one of them. You know, I would like to see a Poison Ivy. I'd like to see a Mr. Freeze. There's so many other, like, you know, cool villains that they can pull. So it's good to see them sort of differentiating finally and doing something a bit different, which is why I'm so excited for it, you know?
Yeah. I hope it's good. I don't usually love spin-off TV shows. Like, I don't know, they can be hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed.
It is a bit concerning that they've greenlit it sort of so fast already as well. Like, I'm sure this has been in the works, like, even whilst the film was being shot and edited and all that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Probably not like, you know, it's not like one person at Warner Bros. Just woke up one morning after watching it and was like, damn, we should make a TV show based on this guy.
But it is, you know, HBO Max make amazing shows, so hopefully
it is going to be high quality, you would assume. Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be good in good hands.
Yeah, I would think so. And my last one before I wrap up, because I found this one too, and this is quite staggering. Jens, have you been playing a bit of Elden Ring on your break off? Have you guys been gaming a lot, or have you sort of just been like taking a step back? I haven't touched it. Okay, same with Steven too.
Yeah, no, we haven't.
Okay, because what would you like? How long did it take? Because you've never beaten a Souls-born game before, but like, how long do you reckon it would take Steven to finish one? You know, to get the end credits at least.
Maybe like 50, 60 hours, I would say.
Okay, so maybe. Like a pretty, you know, like, he's good at the Souls games as well. He knows what he's doing. So that's, you know, that's probably
maybe like 40
the benefit to out. Yeah. But like, no. Okay, so that's pretty good, right? 40 hours, 50 hours, that's pretty good. How about less than 30 minutes?
I mean,
it like feasibly, can you even imagine beating Elden Ring in less than 30 minutes?
It took me 30 minutes to like get through customized character.
Yeah,
creation.
To make legit. So there's this player out there called Distortion 2, and he set his record previously was the best record for Elden Ring. He beat it in a blistering 37 minutes, you know? Like, that's pretty good. That's
all right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not bad. Just this past week, Jens, Distortion 2 himself just beat his own record by shaving a whole 10 minutes off his run. Like, not even like 10 seconds, or like, you know, like when you're watching F1 and they do like a new split, and it's like he's shaved off 0.74 seconds. You're like, oh my God, that's quick.
Yeah.
Now, he shaved off 10 minutes here. So he managed to get his fastest Elden Ring playthrough down to 28 minutes and 59 seconds.
I don't understand.
I don't even understand how. Right, so this was an any % speed run. So basically, as long as you get to the end credits, as soon as those credits start scrolling, that's it. That's where you hit the timer. You know, and you're done. And so I was reading, and he did use a couple of like known glitches, I think, that were in the game. That, you know, obviously speedrunners exploit these things to try and get to the end as fast as they can. but that's still impressive. 28 minutes and 59 seconds. That is incredible, you know?
I need to watch
and I'll put
this.
I was going to say, I have the video link up open in my tag because I'm going to put it in the description when I edit this and upload it all. For those that want to watch it, it is literally 44 minutes, I think, because it's sort of like he has a couple of minutes at the start. It's 39 minutes, sorry. A couple of minutes at the start, a couple of minutes at the end of like, you know, just probably him talking. And it's recording. He did this live on Twitch, and I'm sure he's doing more and more of these throughout Twitch or whatever. You know, trying to beat it as best he can, I guess. We're just waiting until he figures out a way to get it down lower than 28 minutes.
That's incredible.
But yeah, it is outstanding. You know, you could watch this on your lunch break. That's how short it is and how quick it is. Like,
I wonder, because Dark Souls is like, there's no guidance in terms of which boss to do first, or, you know, whatnot. And I wonder if it's like, do you just go straight for the end boss, and that's...
Well, that's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining with 28 minutes and 59 seconds, you could probably squeeze in 2 bosses, maybe 3 bosses. Like, you know, if you're fast.
Because you would have to travel quite a good distance to get to that boss,
get to the end point. And so I think he does use a travel glitch at one point to try and like to spawn himself at a faster point, you know.
But it's insane.
Nonetheless, it's absolutely incredible, you know, to still like you think too, he's had to beat 2 bosses, but he hasn't leveled his character in any way. He hasn't gotten any, like, you know, outstanding weapons or armor or anything like that by that stage yet. So he's still basically beating the game with nothing but like that shitty sword that you get right at the start, or like whatever starter weapon, you know, like it. Incredible.
So absolutely incredible. Are you gonna pick up Elden Ring and smash it in 28 minutes?
You know what, I have it's been really tempting me. I just haven't found the time to game at any sense yet. Like, I did get Emma for her birthday. I got her the new Super Mario Party, so actually we can play Super Mario Party at some point if you want to, because we do have that now.
Super Mario
I think the only game we've really played has been Super Mario Party Superstars, from memory. Other than maybe a couple of rounds of Siege here and there. It is a great game. We played we played one little bit before bed one night, and it was so much fun. But yeah, I have seen a lot of people enjoying Elden Ring, which has, you know, made me consider getting it. And I have seen a lot of people, like, you know, that I wouldn't expect to enjoy some of these Soulsborne games, enjoying it and like managing to get through it. So it does give me some semblance of hope that I will not just crumble at the first or second boss and then, like, you know, call it quits there.
It definitely is catered to new people.
Yeah. All right, so about that cut, Jens's microphone actually just disconnected mid-call, so that was fun. But yeah, we're talking about Elden Ring. We're just wrapping up anyways, Jens.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do it in sub 28 minutes, but I'll probably pick up Elden Ring at some point. I just got to wait and find the time for it, you know? But yeah, I don't know. At some point, I just got to wait and see.
One day.
Yeah, one day for sure. It is on the list, so.
Yeah.
Now, Jens, do you want to wrap us up today with our last sort of topic before we do get on to our little Batman talk? A little bit of a deeper sort of topic than what we've done today. So
I haven't actually heard of this, but Florida basically passed a bill to basically known as the Don't Say Gay bill. And Disney and Florida are virtually synonymous with each other because of Walt Disney World Resort and its theme parks all across Florida. It's such a big staple to Florida.
It's like the, think of like Queensland here in Australia, like where all the theme parks are. Florida's like that to America. Like that's where all the sort of theme parks really go, you know,
exactly.
First and foremost. Yeah.
So with the recent pass of the Don't Say Gay bill, a lot of Disney's LGBTQIA plus employees are working out in protest of Disney's response to said bill. As the CEO, Bob Chapek, responded with a pretty, I guess, tone deaf or...
it's a disappointing response.
It's a bleak response, very shallow, like clearly
it's a corporate response.
Clearly a corporate response. So
he didn't write it. The HR department wrote
exactly.
it, put his name on it, and said, "Hey, post this to Twitter."
Exactly. Of course, Disney employees are disappointed and are staging a walkout in response to it.
I mean, understandably so.
Absolutely,
understandably so. Like it's such a stupid. I'm not surprised at all. Like this is a very Floridian thing, I think, to hear of. Like to me, and I don't want to get political, but Florida seems like the state out of all of them to implement a bill like this.
But it's really sad that in this day and age that something like this would happen. Just to go over quickly about the bill, basically it restricts classrooms in basically talking about sexual orientation or gender identity. So not acknowledging the spectrum of gender.
Unless you're male or female or
that's
straight, and that's all you can talk about. Anything else doesn't exist apparently in this under this bill. Which just isn't true. Inherently isn't true at all.
Exactly, and so they're gonna eliminate that, and I think that's pretty shitty because especially with your developmental age.
I do want to state it is only through grades kindergarten to grade 3, so it is sort of in those early initial stages of your like schooling life, I guess. But like Jen said, they are the solely developmental stages of one's sort of life, I guess. Like this is where you first learn the alphabet, what colors and like that sort of stuff.
And social interactions.
Social interaction as well. And in a world that's ever evolving, these sorts of things need to sort of be taught in a manner as well. And obviously, it's probably going to be a bit hard for someone that's, 4 or 5 or 6 years old to sort of maybe comprehend. But still, figuring out a way to, I guess, teach it to them in a way that they'll learn and sort of take on even a little bit, is better than just not teaching them.
Not acknowledging
sort of letting them exactly. So it's I hopefully something gets done about this bill and people keep protesting it and they eliminate it altogether or tweak it in some way. I don't really have much of a hope because these sorts of things usually once they go through like this, that's it, they're through. But hopefully like more and more businesses in and around Florida sort of stage walkouts like this or similar to this, sort of to cause a bit of disruption and say, you know what, no, we're not supporting this. We don't support our business and our bosses and, the shareholders that support this, and hopefully once it hits, their back pockets, that's when they start to listen a bit.
Yeah. It's so weird because like, you and I assume many people listening, you grew up with Disney. Disney was like the best thing in our childhood. But
Disney was the thing that your parents put on to like sit you down so you could shut up for an hour and a half at the end of the afternoon. Like just so they could also get some peace and quiet. Like
exactly. But Disney's not really had a very good rap since the start, really. But Disney has added more inclusivity with their recent work, which has been really nice to see. But
it's a step in the right direction, but it's still a company as big as Disney, a company that's in so many parts of the world as Disney can do so much better. Like it's not good enough at all to just be like, oh, okay, we have a film that revolves around just Mexican people. We have like that's a step in the right direction, of course, but it's not good enough. Like they can do so much more. They have the funds to do so much more. They have the funds to like, help combat this sort of bill that's being put in place, and to stand up for their employees and things. They can do so much better. So it's you don't want to sort of give them too much of a leg to stand on because Disney will definitely take it,
absolutely.
But no, it's a bit of a dire note to sort of bring the podcast to, but I feel like, we have to, because these things are so important that you can't not talk about them,
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't stray away from topics like, we spoke about Activision and Blizzard.
Exactly.
Which is still going on.
Yes. Yeah. Don't think we haven't forgotten Activision Blizzard. Don't think we haven't forgotten. We're still on to you.
So what did you think of Batman? This, by the way, won't be a spoiler. In any means, we're not going to talk about any specifics. We're just going to say our overall opinion, and that might sway you to watch it or not. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, what did you think?
If you're a superhero fan, go and see it. I can't say anything more than that. It was honestly one of the most incredible superhero films I've seen. That I can recall. I think it is now my favorite Batman film of all time. Even with, The Dark Knight and Batman Begins, they were great. Don't get me wrong, they're still really good movies. But I feel like this one just hits Batman like a nail on the head, they got it perfect. It's like I was watching a comic that had come to life.
Steven was saying this because it really takes what the comics, it has a comic feel, not in like a it's cartoony,
not in the real
or whatever
campy way.
No. It's like they've done modern Batman but stuck so well with the roots of Batman, and it's like it's the Batman that everyone wanted.
It feels like to me, when they were developing this movie, Matt Reeves was like, just imagine Batman wasn't a superhero for a minute, just imagine he was a guy that dressed up in a bat costume and walked around the city and was so batshit scary to all of the people that were doing wrong in the city, that he just struck fear into like these guys. And like, that's where they started. And then they were like, oh, actually, let's just sprinkle in just enough superhero and Batman stuff. To hit that demographic of fans. But it's like it to me, it just doesn't feel like anything I've seen in the past, with any Same. It doesn't have the formula that all of the superhero films have had for like the past 10 years. It doesn't have like all of the witty comedy and humor and stuff like that all the superhero films have had for the last 10 years. It doesn't have, it's not really played down to a younger audience.
Not at all.
Which there have been some, like, Deadpool and stuff like that, obviously exceptions. Zack Snyder's Justice League, with exceptions, because that was R-rated. There have been a handful of things that do go against that, but for the most part, all of the superhero films have sort of been aged towards a younger demographic. Even though this is still only M-rated or whatever here in Australia, so like PG-13 almost everywhere else in the world, or like that sort of rating. It's not like it's going above and beyond to be super hardcore, but it is, super dark and gritty. It's a real like, noir type film. It's oh man, I could talk about this thing for hours.
I know.
It was
We're gonna have to do a blog post about this, I think.
Yes.
But it's the detective Batman that you've always loved.
Exactly.
I cannot recommend it enough. I think also it is probably my favorite Batman, which is saying a lot considering the Heath Ledger Batman was so loved, like, because but if you rewatch it and watch this is like far
I don't know how to compare them. They're just they're sort of in two different leagues to me. It feels like, I mean,
the trilogy was so long ago too, so
I mean, I kind of like
CG and all that jazz is so different.
They were kind of the films that I sort of grew up with, because I was born in 98, and I think Batman Begins came out in 05 or 06. So a good couple, like, I was of age to go and watch a Batman movie and be like, I was a fan of Batman at the time, because obviously most kids are, around that age. And so when I saw, they're making a live action, I was like, damn, mum and dad, take me to that. That's sick. So I kind of grew up with those films. So they always will hold a special place in my heart for that kind of reason. Very similar to the way that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man films were. Like, that's what I grew up watching. Like, I love Tom Holland now and Andrew Garfield, but like, I grew up with those ones. So they get like, that's my bread and butter. But this, to me, this was just exceptional. There's no other word to describe it, I don't think. other than that. I cannot wait for it to hit streaming and DVD so I can go buy it and watch it 50 other times, you know. That's actually what I'll be doing with No Way Home tonight, I think. It hits streaming today, so I think I'll pick that up and I'll be watching that one for sure, don't you worry.
But yeah, please, if you can, go watch it, or wait till it comes out on DVD if you want to be COVID safe. But honestly...
I think too, I do want to say, if you can, go and see it in a cinema, because like I saw it in Titan Lux, which is like, it's not gold class, but it's not like it's like the standard ticket things.
Better Dolby
so I got
one, right?
really nice Dolby Atmos speakers. You know, you get like the bigger screen. It wasn't 40x. I've seen some footage of 40x.
I don't know if I want to do 40x.
No, I don't want to ride a roller coaster while watching. Like, I feel like it would take you out of it, because I saw some clips of like people watching the Batman in 40x, and like those chairs were going. It was like a roller coaster. Those we're going. Like, I'm surprised someone didn't do a backflip at one point. That's how bad the chairs were like shaking about.
In your like second playthrough. Like, you know, maybe then you'd be like, oh, this would be fun.
Can you imagine going to try and watch like a deep, sort of gritty movie, serious movie?
3 hours, and then all of a sudden,
3 hours, and your chair starts, you know, jolting around, and there's water being sprayed at your face, and you know it. Do
you know what would be great? The Mad Max would be pretty fun on that.
That would be good. Yeah, I feel like there's some movies they could have picked that would fit 40x a lot more than Batman.
Yeah, Batman I didn't expect, but whatever.
Yeah, I guess if movie cinemas want to get the extra $20 out of people, you know, go for your life. But yeah, like I was saying, if you can, go and try and see it in a nice cinema with like real nice Dolby Atmos speakers, because the audio in this film is, my bones were rattling, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it was good.
Without even 40x, I don't need it. You just need to go with nice speakers and like that, like the Batmobile scene. My God, you know?
Yeah, we can't say anymore.
No, I mean, obviously there's going to be a Batmobile in it. You just know there's going to be a Batmobile in it. I'm not going to say any more about it, but like, it rattled you, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I know, it was great.
Oh, incredible. Go and see it. But yeah, I think that's it for this week though, Jens. Was there anything you wanted to add before we wrap up for the week?
No, nothing from me.
Yeah, no, nothing from me either, other than go and play the new Siege update, go and see the Batman. You will thank me later. It's honestly, it's incredible. But yeah, I'm glad we're back to our normal sort of schedule, I hope, of hopefully, you know, recording and uploading and stuff like that. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. What?